Welcome to the RadioU podcast. I'm Hudson.
And I'm Allie.
Coming up, all the times mascots made you cry.
Also, my big running goal for the month of April.
All that and more on the way next. Thanks for waking up with commercial-free RadioU mornings. Happy Wednesday. Coming up an hour from now, we'll have your Battle of the Buzz. It's Hates the Day versus 808 Beezy today. Two brand new songs. And you decide which one should be champion. I'll tell you who's not going to be champion. Italy. At soccer. 772 RadioU, the talkback button, the new RadioU app. I don't know much, as Aaron Neville would say, about soccer. Don't let my Canada soccer hat that I'm currently wearing fool you. But I do know that it's a pretty big deal that Italy is missing the World Cup again. This is the third straight World Cup. This is supposed to be like one of their sports.
Yeah.
And they're missing again.
Clearly, baseball's more important to Italy than soccer because they seem to be more invested in that, better at that. But
they should be because they're obviously better at it.
Yeah, that's what I just said. Yeah, they're better at baseball than they are soccer right now, which is kind of crazy for a European country. But yeah, they're missing it for the third time in a row. It looks like the team is obviously heartbroken, to miss it. And in the way that they did, they lost in a penalty shootout.
Mm-hmm.
So the game was 1-1 after 120 minutes, and they go to shootout, and there we have it.
Yeah, well, they can't all qualify, but for some reason, Italy, even though they just expanded, they're just going to keep expanding the World Cup until Italy can make it back in again.
I was going to say, I think they're planning to expand it once again, even after this year's World Cup has gotten expanded even more.
Yeah.
So, and Europe has like the largest qualifying pool.
Yeah, because everybody plays soccer everywhere, but particularly in Europe every
huge.
country has a halfway decent soccer team almost, and so they get a lot of teams in.
Yep.
Still not enough teams in for Italy to make it.
Yeah.
But they don't deserve to be there. If you can't make penalty kicks, Allie, I've always said this, while a soccer shootout is an intensely dumb, stupid way to solve a sports match, that said, it's coming.
Yep.
You know it's a part of it.
Yep.
In fact, in these playoff games, it seems more and more likely that you're going to wind up in these knockout matches, that you're going to wind up in a shootout. And so you should be good at them.
Yeah.
In Italy, listen, you cannot make a penalty kick. You can kick it, the goalie can stop it. That can happen.
Yes.
But if you kick it off and it doesn't even go towards the net, it goes over the net, it goes to the side of the net, you can't score.
Yeah.
It's like airballing a free throw.
Exactly.
And so it boggles my mind that professional soccer players can miss the net.
It boggles my mind when professional basketball players miss free throws, because that should be something you're practicing every single day. But the problem is when you come down to that moment when the pressure's high, people are yelling, suddenly you squib the kick somehow and it ends up going over or whatever, hitting the crossbar, who knows.
That did happen to one of them.
Yeah, it usually does when the nerves are high. And the moment is elevated. Italy knows if we don't win this game, we're not making the World Cup 3 straight times. You can't tell me that those nerves weren't getting high.
It's the biggest net in all of sports, and you miss it. Bosnia? We haven't even mentioned Bosnia. Bosnia's the one that beat Italy.
Yeah, I don't even know if Bosnia's qualifying or if they're just playing spoiler.
They're in.
Okay.
For the second time, and they didn't miss a penalty kick.
Yeah.
Funny how that works.
They've made all
You
four.
actually kick it into the net. You make the goalie at least have to stop it.
Yeah.
And good things happen.
Yeah.
So Bosnia is in. Good for them. Like I said, I don't know much about soccer. If I was preparing for this World Cup, though, all I would do, I would put all 12 guys, I put them all back by the net for the first 120 minutes. And just be really good at, and then actually just kick it at the net when we got to the shootout time.
Put them all by the net. What do you
just
mean?
all stand back. We're not even trying to score. 0-0, 120 minutes, then we'll be the team that actually makes it into the net.
Okay,
during
so
the
you
shootout.
just want the penalty shootout.
Yeah, they all wind up that way anyways.
I'm pretty sure in the first rounds they don't go to penalty shootouts.
You just have to make it out of the group stage.
Yeah.
3 ties and you're good.
3 ties.
3 ties.
That'll definitely get you out of the group stage.
I think if I know right, I don't know much about soccer. There's all the groups, they have 4 teams. 3 of them make it. You just have to not be the worst.
Oh, 3 of them are
3
qualifying?
advance, I'm pretty sure.
Oh my gosh, I
Which
didn't
gives
realize they had expanded it that much.
Yeah, which gives us more knockout games. That's going to be a lot. Normally there's 16 teams.
Yeah.
There's going to be a lot of knockout games. That'd be like, I think that's 30.
Would it be 32?
I think it's 32 teams that get into, it's at least 24.
Yeah. That's crazy. I did not know they were expanding it that much.
23 teams eliminated by penalty kicks.
Yesterday, I put a bow on the month for my running, Hudson.
Okay.
And I figured out exactly how many miles I had run in the entire month of March. And I hadn't really set too much of a goal for myself. I had signed up for a challenge because, like, on Strava, you can sign up for different challenges. But I was like, there's no way I'll hit this. There's no way.
Okay.
And it was to run 100 kilometers, which is about 62 miles.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I know that.
Yeah, in the month of March, and I got to 88. So I was actually really happy that I was that close. So in total, I ran just over 55 miles in the month of March, and so for the month of April, I've set that goal once again. Signed up for that challenge once again to run 100 kilometers. And I think I can do it.
Yeah, well, you already have one thing working in your favor, and that is it's probably not going to snow this month.
Yeah, right.
The weather should be a little nicer. I know the rain can get in the way too, but I just feel like the weather is going to be a little more in your favor.
Right, and I'm not as it's not as bad to run in the rain compared to like snow or ice or whatever. Mm-hmm. So I am willing to put up with like some rain to go out and get a run in, and I have done that before. Mm-hmm. So yeah, I think I can get this done.
You could make it 88 in the wild month of March. Then now April, you're sacrificing a day.
Sacrificing a day.
April is 1 day shorter than March.
That's true.
So you do have to factor that in, but still, I think you've got it.
Yeah, there were some runs left on the table in March, like days when I probably could have run, but I didn't. And so I think if I plan it out correctly. And also, I'm increasing distance now because, I ran my first 10K last month. That's 6.2 miles. And so I'm increasing my runs usually. I'm not just running like 2 miles every time I'm out.
Yeah.
Instead, I'm now most of the time when I'm going out for a run, I'm at least running a 5K. So that's 3.1. So if I keep increasing that, then the likelihood goes up even more.
And the way I understand it, once you're running like at least 3 miles, like what's another 2 or 3 every time? You know what I mean?
Honestly, it's true.
You don't even feel it.
It's
you don't
true.
even know the difference.
I told my cousin Kathy, who I run with on Saturdays usually, I said, I feel like once I get to the 2 mile mark, that's when my body's like, all right, let's keep going. Those first 2 miles are like sometimes one of the biggest struggles because it's like your body just does not want to be out there.
Yeah.
You don't want to breathe correctly. You don't want to move. Your legs might be tired and just out of gas. But then once I hit that 2 mile mark, it's like something just clicks and I can just keep going even if I'm struggling before that.
Yeah. I hope to get there one day. The 2 mile mark where my body wants to do it. Meanwhile, we've got an amazing video. We can send it to you. Just text the word Olaf to 8772 RadioU. If you haven't seen this one yet, Disneyland Paris, they just introduced this, an animatronic Olaf from Frozen.
Okay.
It wanders around a certain area of the park and literally like it looks and behaves just like Olaf would if you saw Olaf in real life.
Nice.
But about a day into the Olaf experiment at Disneyland Paris, Olaf died.
Oh no.
He died in a very dramatic fashion. There's a crowd gathered around because of course there is. It's Disneyland and Olaf is talking to children.
Yeah.
And in the middle of having like what seems to be a conversation with somebody, Olaf is standing there, his eyes kind of somehow, even though he's not actually alive because it's an animatronic, but somehow his eyes glaze over.
Yeah.
and he falls directly backwards onto his back. But the part that makes it is his carrot nose pops off of his face
right off
as he hits the ground.
I love it's like a slow fade fall. Like he just like suddenly stops talking.
Yep.
His eyes stop moving. His little stick arms stop moving, and he slowly tilts back, and then bam, falls onto the sidewalk. It kind of reminds me, you know, the movie Princess Bride?
Yeah.
When the guy's like, you know, I haven't been poisoned. And then he just like falls over and dies suddenly. That's kind of what this reminds me of.
That's exactly how Olaf just expired in front of everybody. So many possibly horrified children watching.
Yes. This had to have been traumatizing for the kids.
Yeah, which brings me to opening up the Radio U hotline.
877-2-RADIO-U.
I want to know your bad mascot experiences, whether it be the Chick-fil-A cow or at Disney World or at a baseball game or whatever it is. I feel like they're so prevalent, mascots. And odds are at some point you're going to see them do something that you wouldn't expect them to.
Well, and a lot of kids are scared of mascots.
Oh, yeah. I was not comfortable around mascots.
Yes, I was deathly afraid of mascots when I was little. I just thought they just creeped me out. I was just not a kid that wanted to run up and hug them. I was like, I want to go in the opposite direction. Thank you.
Yeah. So let us know if you've got any strange mascot experiences, strange or animatronic, I guess works too, but just something that might have ruined your childhood. 877-2-RADIO-U. And of course, if you want to see the video you haven't yet, text the word or the name Olaf to 877-2-RADIO-U. Radio U, where music is going, not commercials. We have the Radio U hotline open.
877-2-RADIO-U.
Or you could use the talkback button in the new Radio U app. We want to know if you ever had a crazy experience as a kid or an adult with a mascot costumed character. This comes after, and this is a great video. We can send it to you. Olaf, there's a new animatronic Olaf that wanders the park at Disneyland Paris, but literally like his second day on the job.
Yeah.
As an animatronic, Olaf malfunctioned and fell over and died in dramatic fashion.
Oh.
In front of numerous children.
Yeah.
But it looks like people sent in some stories. We heard from William. Did you see this?
I did not. Let me see.
William says, I went to Chuck E. Cheese back in the day during a first grade birthday party, and while the animatronic show was playing, one of the characters just stopped working and fell over. Basically exactly the same thing that Olaf did. I didn't know that Chuck E. Cheese characters could do that. I thought they were kind of like on stands, affixed to the stage.
Right. We heard from Brian. This is a crazy story. He says his wife was a principal at an elementary school, and she was roped into wearing, she roped him into wearing their wolf mascot costume for something. I was standing outside her office holding the head as a class of kindergartners walked by, and they were gasping. The teacher told me I was freaking them out. Apparently, they thought that the wolf was real.
You can't, as a mascot, you can't be seen. Without the head on.
Without the head on, it's jarring.
It happened to the Oregon Duck this last football season.
Right.
That was traumatizing for everybody.
Yes, I remember how fast he ran away.
Yeah.
Like that was crazy.
That's a cardinal rule of mascotting.
Yes.
877-2-RADIO-U. Did you have any?
I don't have any like traumatic memories of like specific things happening. I just remember there was an amusement park in Johannesburg, South Africa called Gold Reef City.
Okay.
And my family would go there whenever we would go to South Africa for either my parents' job or for vacation. And they had like a few mascots that would walk around. And Gold Reef City was like, the whole theme was gold mining because it was near where a gold mine had been or whatever.
Yeah.
And so the main mascot was this guy named Josie, and he was dressed up similar to kind of like the Boilermaker mascot.
Okay.
With like the big head that's supposed to look human, but it looks real creepy.
Okay.
Also similar to like the Providence, Rhode Island Friar guy.
The worst mascots are the ones that are meant to look human.
Yeah, that have those real human head things.
Yeah.
It just looks so creepy. And I just remember like crying and being like, I don't want to my parents wanted us to like get a picture with the mascots.
Yeah.
Because, they're like, oh, the mascots are here, whatever. And
it's cute.
I started crying and I was like, I don't want to go over there. I was like 5 or something. So
my mascot experience, I didn't have anything traumatizing. I wasn't that scared of mascots, but like I also didn't care to want to be around them very much.
Sure, yeah.
But I do remember going to Disney World once as a kid, and Scrooge McDuck was out walking around, and one other little child, I don't know, like not somebody with us or whatever, but he was just from another random family, and he runs up to Scrooge McDuck and kicks him in the leg and says, "You're not Scrooge McDuck." I don't know how he knew. He was young. He was really young, but he knew Scrooge McDuck was not in there.
Oh, that's so funny. Yeah, there's kids that do that all the time.
Yeah.
They kick mascots. They do crazy stuff to the poor mascot people.
The other thing that bothers me is when mascots, like I can't think of any specific instances, but this has happened to me when mascots say words.
Yeah.
Like from inside the costume, you don't talk.
No.
Do not talk.
No.
I watched a video of a guy who was like dressing up as a mascot, and he was just doing it for fun at a mall or whatever, and it was just like, stop. And he was talking to kids.
No.
I was like, stop talking.
Don't do that.
When you put that head on, you're not inside. Nobody wants to know that you're inside.
Yeah,
there.
you got to be mute. You got to be like Brutus.
You're a mime.
Right. You got to be like Brutus the Buckeye, very expressive with your hands and like the different motions you make. You don't say a thing.
Yeah.
You just have to talk with your hands.
You gotta be a mime.
Yeah.
The Radio U hotline is open.
877-2-RADIO-U.
You can also use the talkback button in the new Radio U app to share your mascot stories from growing up. Did a mascot ever scare you? Did something terrible ever happen? Because Olaf, the snowman, is at Disneyland Paris. They made a new animatronic Olaf, and second day on the job, he falls over.
Dead
in front of children. What's your story? Dee Dee sent in one. Allie, this is a classic.
Okay.
Dee Dee says, when I was 6 years old, I stumbled across the movie It.
Uh-oh.
I know I shouldn't have watched it, but I did anyways. And of course, I had nightmares. Then, sometime later, my dad took me to McDonald's.
Uh-oh.
It was like a grand opening or something like that for a local McDonald's.
No, I know where this is going.
And Ronald McDonald was there.
Of course.
Handing out balloons.
Oh, no.
He made the mistake of handing me a red balloon. That's a good way to put it. It was his mistake.
It was his mistake.
To give you, a child, a balloon. I screamed and ran to a safe corner in the room in full panic mode, and my dad had to carry me out of there. Still to this day, I'm not a big fan of balloons, and I sort of have a thing about clowns.
Wow, traumatized by it at such a young age. Honestly, I get it. When you watch those scary movies young, they get you. That was me with Jaws.
Yeah, for me, Chucky.
Yeah.
I did not care for Chucky. I never saw the movie. I was just scared of Chucky.
When you were young.
Yeah.
Yeah. I watched Jaws.
Still now, I'm still scared of
it. I watched Jaws when I was way too young, and now I'm still kind of afraid to go in the ocean because of it.
Yeah. Honestly, though, like Dee Dee talking about she's afraid of clowns and not a big fan of balloons, you can get through life pretty... I mean, like, if you're really scared of balloons, that'd be a problem, but who needs balloons? They're actually very unnecessary.
But also I think, especially with the clowns, like clowns are on the outs. They've been on the outs for a long time.
Yeah.
They've had a lot of bad rap.
I think is sad because clowns are supposed to be funny and fun.
Yeah, they are.
But it's the scary part.
Yeah.
Scary clown has ruined fun clowns for everyone.
Scary clowns have ruined them. Insane Clown Posse. Also.
True.
The murderer that was like the clown, that guy.
Yeah, that's right.
You know, he kind of ruined him because he would go to birthday parties.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We've been talking scary mascot stories from when you were growing up.
Yeah.
And we have Gabrielle now on the phone. What's your story, Gabrielle?
So I was 7, maybe 8, I don't know, but we went to Chuck E. Cheese. This is back in like mid-90s, and Chuck E. Cheese was so creepy. So it was for my friend's birthday party. We just had pizza. We just had the whole thing. And the fancy animatronics were performing on stage, right? Well, after all that ended, I went to go play skee-ball, right? Well, I turned around to go back to my mom. And next thing you know, I see like the real life Chuck E. Cheese standing down looking at me. and all he says is, hello, little girl, and I passed out. I was out for probably 30 minutes. But the worst part, when I woke up, he was sitting down at our table chatting with my mother.
No.
So ever since then, whenever we would go, because, like, we'd always go to Chuck E. Cheese, I would, like, literally, I would always eat my pizza underneath the table.
Oh, my God.
I would go to, like, those gigantic, like, hamster ball tunnels, and I would hide in those. And to this day, I am petrified of Chuck E. Cheese and anyone else in those costumes, because I just think of that moment when I was 7 and me just passing out straight.
That's crazy.
That is so
You'd
wild.
think your family would stop taking you to Chuck E. Cheese.
You would think so, but no, because back then, every kid's birthday party was there. We were there like probably once a month minimum.
Oh, no.
And yeah, to this day, it's no bueno.
Oh, my gosh. Thanks for calling in, Gabrielle.
At least she had a lot of friends. You know, she had a lot of birthday parties to
that's
go
a good
to.
point.
You
That's a
know,
good
maybe
point.
that's the good takeaway
You look
here.
on the bright side.
Yeah, but clearly all of these crazy mascot stories are inspiring others to share their crazy mascot story, and that's one of the worst.
You have to wonder at this point, like, we've only heard, like, actually a few stories, but doesn't this bad outweigh the good that mascots give? Isn't it kind of make you question why we have mascots in the first place?
Yeah, but also I've had some good moments with mascots. Like, I remember the first time I met Brutus, I was like just in awe.
Mhm.
So there's been some good times as well.
Maybe that's part of it, is like you can be so in awe of them, but also they have the power to
ruin your life.
To ruin your life.
Traumatize you forever.
Yeah. Hey, maybe we should get a RadioU mascot.
Oh, what would it be?
Maybe like me, but like in like a mascot version.
We just said the people one is the creepiest.
I know, that's why we should do it.
No.
That'd be fun.
Happy Artemis Day, everybody. I think we should start off the in-space update with that, first of all. Artemis II launching today. Very
Supposedly.
exciting. Yeah, allegedly. I literally, right after we had talked about Artemis II, immediately my phone sent me an article that was like, the weather that could stop Artemis II from launching.
I'm telling you.
So,
Let's wait until it actually happens before we celebrate.
yes, fingers crossed that it is happening today, because that is a very exciting thing. But we're actually talking about something else for today's in-space update. Scientists have developed a four-legged robot designed to explore Mars-like terrain without needing constant human control.
So wait, I know we have rovers.
Yes.
You're telling me those are somebody sitting behind a desk all day with a screen moving those things around?
No, so a human isn't like controlling them with like a joystick or something. But a
Okay.
human does have to give the Mars rovers instructions of like where to go, what to do. So the Mars rover will just kind of sit there and wait for those instructions. And because Mars is so far away from Earth,
Yeah,
information takes a while to travel.
right.
So I can't remember exactly what the information time is, if it's like 20 minutes or something, but it takes a while to get back and forth.
Yeah. See,
And
I would have expected that like the rovers were basically like Roombas, like space Roombas.
Just going off and doing their
that's
thing.
what I thought.
Yeah, they do.
Like Wall-E.
Once they have instructions, they go and do their thing, and they'll do the research. They'll take the pictures. They'll take pictures of themselves to show like how much damage has been done to them, because the terrain and the environment on Mars is not exactly welcoming. But no, this robot would be more like left to its own devices, out to explore on its own.
So this is a space Roomba.
This kind of is more of a space Roomba. But what I'm not entirely clear on is like what it will be doing exactly. So the autonomy of this robot, it's going to speed up the exploration.
Okay.
So from what I can see is this thing is going to explore Mars, which is what the Mars rovers do, explores and does some experiments and takes pictures and stuff. So it sounds like that's what this is going to do. It's going to study multiple locations a lot quicker. And also it's going to, It'll have tools like similar to what the rovers have, like sensors and microscopes to scan and evaluate samples and send back information in real time to Earth.
Okay.
On what the terrain is like and what the rocks are like, all of that type of stuff.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's perfect. So now we can send the robots and we never have to go, right?
That's kind of what I'm thinking. I'm also slightly worried about us sending these robots. They're going to become conscious and then Mars will not be habitable for humans because the robots
will already rule it.
They'll rule the town. There's no one else there. So if we send these mostly autonomous robots, I feel like we're setting it up to be Robot Town and not our town.
Hey, guess what? They can have it.
Yeah, I agree.
If all the places for robots to conquer, Mars feels totally fine to me.
Yeah, hopefully this will finally cross it off of the plans for NASA and for SpaceX, but I'm worried that this is just going to amp up their desire to get there. But my thing is let the robots take over, and if robots happen to get conscious here, guess where we send them? Mars!
Right.
They don't need oxygen!
It's like the Australia for robots.
Yes, this is their Alcatraz, If we have bad robots, we send them to Mars. Imagine the movie material for this.
Exactly. And then maybe the robots here, they do become sentient and want to conquer us, but maybe they feel less of that urge because they already know they have their own planet. So they don't need to conquer ours.
Yeah.
Because they already can just go be with their own kind.
Maybe.
In a robot utopia on Mars.
Or it could be a deterrent. Mars is not exactly a great place to live.
They will resent us for sending them their kind, their ancestors.
It'll deter them from wanting to do bad things. Because they don't want to go to Mars.
You don't want to wind up on Mars.
If the robots don't want to go to Mars, then we shouldn't want to go
Maybe
to Mars.
we should start sending criminals to Mars.
They would literally just die. That's a death sentence. Thanks for listening to the Radio U podcast. Don't forget to rate and review the show.